Okay, good evening, guys. We have kicked off today's lecture. So let me share my screen and then we get started. Okay, so for today, we're going to be entering Git and GitHub properly. We're going to understand what Git and GitHub is and how you can set it up. If you can see my screen, just raise up your hand. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so moving on. Well, what is Git? What exactly is Git? So imagine Uju and Chede, a, a girl and a guy. They love collecting birds. So initially, both of them will go out and collect birds from around their place, around their house, the place where they live, and bring them into collective nests. Okay. Then they now decided, okay, they are done cataloging the species that are around their place, and then they will now wanted to go out far and wide to bring more species to collect. Now, sometimes Uju will bring back birds and find out that Chede has already brought back the same species of birds. How are they going to solve this? So they will not continue bringing back the same species of birds. So after making multiple decisions, they decided to leave a note each time they bring in a particular bird to the nest so that the other person would not go bringing the same birds into the nest. This was effective for a while because they did not have the same amount of errors they previously had, but it was not the total solution. So they now decided to register each bird they bring in a central Excel file. I'm sure most of us here knows how to use, I've heard of Excel or Google Sheets. You understand? They decided, okay, any bird that we bring, we write down the species there, and it's a shared Google Sheet. So both of them will be updating the Google Sheet and see what the other person has written. So this would aid them to keep tabs on the birds to know which bird was brought to the nests last, and to know what species of bird was brought. This method gives rise to what is known as version control. Now, what is version control? Version control is known as a source control or revision system that is used in software development and other collaborative environments to track, manage changes to files and code over time. Why version control? It is an effective means to keep track of what others are doing so you'll be able to follow and understand what has been done, so you would not be lost or repeat what has already been done. It saves time, makes for efficient work, easy collaboration, and code storage. Types of version control systems. So we have centralized version control systems and distributed version control systems. The CVCs, in CVCs, there is a central repository that stores all versions of the files, and the developers check out a working copy of the code from the central repository. Examples include Subversion. In distributed version control system, each developer has a complete copy of the repository, including its entire history. The developers can work independently, then synchronize their repositories with others when needed. Examples include Git and Mercurial. Git. We are now going to be treating Git as a version control system. But before we move on, who has questions pertaining the previous thing we have discussed about version control systems? If you have, just put up your hands. David, your hand is up. You have a question to ask.
Oh, no,
Okay.
I don't. Sorry, it was a mistake.
Okay. So, moving on, you have Git as a version control system. Git is a distributed version control system that is widely used in software development to track and manage changes to source code and other project files. It was created by Linus Torvalds in 2005 and has since become the de facto standard for version control in the software development industry. As a widely distributed system, it offers the following for proper management and for proper version and code management: the distributed system, repository, commits, branches, merging, pull requests, history and time travel, security and integrity staging area. Okay, I just want us to take a moment to look at exactly what is going on here so that we'll grab the concept of what Git offers and why we use Git. Okay, as we have already installed Git in our systems, which is because it was what we did in our last class, we will go on to configure Git with our GitHub so that they stay connected at all times. This way, we are able to make commits to the GitHub from our bash, and we are going to be seeing our code and our commits there. So this is the GitHub interface. Everybody just go inside and tap github.com. So you go to the GitHub interface. Okay, so copy the link that was shared to the chat and then type it in. So we move forward. So if you guys get on GitHub, you guys should now hit on the sign up. When you guys hit on the sign up, please use your emails to sign up. If they have option to use for Google authentication, use it. But use your current email, the one you know you're going to be using to sign up. It's very necessary. The one you know you're not going to forget. So once you sign up, you have to choose you have to input your name. Then you now have to choose a username. Okay, if you have an account already, don't worry. And if you have configured it with Git, not worry. This is focused on people who have not done this before. So you have to go in, choose your username. Yeah, and that's basically it. Verify. You have to also verify your username. You understand? Okay, give me a second. I'm loading up my screen. So if you guys can see my screen here, you understand? This is exactly what you'll be seeing, yeah? So you will now click on sign up. Understand? So this you should see this thing come up and it tells you welcome, let's begin, blah blah blah. You now enter your email, you now enter email address and hit continue. It's not it is telling me if email is invalid or already taken because I already have an account. But once you input your email, it will not tell you to input your name. Please input your full name. Guys, I cannot make this any louder than input your full name. If you have 4 names, input it. If you have 5 names, input it. There's a reason so that everything will be attributed like to you. So you have like your unique self. It's not just you just put in 2 names. You understand? Use all your names, all your identifiers, all your IDs. You understand? So that you will be verified. I mean, for your own sake, not for GitHub's sake. So register with your full name. Okay, so I already have an account. So I move to sign in, and then I now input my account, and I now input my password. Okay, this is coming up because I have linked it with my I have linked it with my mobile, which is nice. If you have it, you do it. But yeah, it can be a bit of a hold up. Okay. Okay, I've approved my request, and then I'm now sent to my dashboard. So yeah, once you create it automatically, what you're going to have is just going to lead you straight to your profile with your username on top. It's going to lead you to your profile with your username on top, and then you're not going to see this place with just a one green stuff here telling you that, hey, you created this thing today. Then you have it here where my image is, where my avatar is. You'll have your own customized avatar here. So if this is not for people who have accounts on GitHub already, but if you're new and you just created an account at this moment, put up your hands. Okay, I would take this as belief that everybody here has a working GitHub. Okay, that's cool. So we now want to get Git configured with GitHub. So in our Git bash, which is already installed, so we have to load up our Git bash. I hope you guys can see my screen. We have to load up our Git bash. So when we now load it up, to configure our GitHub, we're now going to do git config -- global. Then you now write your username that you've chosen for Git. Don't put it in parentheses, just write it that way. You understand? So that it knows that, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. This is the name I attribute to this configuration. Git global. You're now putting your username. You understand? Then you now hit enter. If you did it well, it will just bring out another line of code for you. You get? If you did it well, it will just bring out another line of code for you. Then the next thing you now do is the same thing for your email. Git config global your email. It now configures your email globally for you. The same email you used for your GitHub is the same email you're going to put here. They should not be different. Your username should be the same username you used for your GitHub. It should not be different. Then, if you want to now check if they're configured properly, this is what we're going to do. We're now going to do git config global user.name, then git config global user.email. This way, they will bring out our name and our username and our email. You understand? So that it will show that it has been configured correctly. Okay, so I'll show you what my own does exactly. Give me a second to load my screen. Okay, hope you guys can see my screen. You guys can see my screen. So you guys can see my screen. So to see if I have my stuff configured global and very well, I'll do git config global user. This is to bring out my full name. You understand? Because I use my full name as my configuration name. It now brings out my full name. So I now change this into email. Now it brings out my email because that was what because that's the email I use and that is what is linked to GitHub. So you can see that I did it appropriately. Yes, Edwin.
Yeah, sorry, please. Good evening.
What do you
When
mean?
I'm trying to configure mine, it's telling me that key does not contain a section 0126, like my name.
What do you press? Is it git config global your name? Is this what you do?
Yes.
Help you put your entire name there, like your name from start to finish here, like the name you used to register for GitHub.
Oh, I didn't even remember the name I used in registering for GitHub.
That's what you have to remember. All these things. These things are your credentials. If without it, you're lost. Understand? You have to remember all these things. Without it, you're lost. So ensure that you remember the name you use for GitHub and you remember the email, so I'll be able to configure these things globally. So I'll be able to get this thing properly set up. You understand? So if another person is having any other problems, ask up now, so it will be sorted out. I'm going to give the next 5 minutes for sorting it out. So by 8:10 we move forward. So if anybody has any issues, raise up your hand. Let us sort this out now. Well, okay. Since I'm not receiving any inputs, yeah, it seems I'll continue and move on with the lesson. So it's my belief now that everyone has their Git configured to their GitHub properly and globally for easy usage. So now we are not going to write our first code to GitHub. So to push a code to GitHub, we can create a repository on GitHub. When we have done that, we can now clone the repository. So yes, so let's go to our GitHub, guys. So if you want to create a new repository, we can come over here to repository and then click on new. Then when we now click on new, it now tell us what's the name of the repository. Let's say the name of the repository is blockchain. You can choose this same name. You understand? The link differs. UNN. Blockchain UNN. You understand? You can now choose to make it a public or private repository. In this description, you can do it. You can say anything. You can be like blockchain UNN learning repository. Notice I did not give space when I was naming this thing here, because you don't give spaces when you're having your names. The only things you can have here are dashes, and don't give spaces. Understand? They said it will be created as blockchain UNN. Understand? Because it does not support spaces. Instead, it puts dash there. So either do dash or don't give a space at all. So I create it as a blockchain UNN learning repository. Then I now set it to public. Then I can choose to add a README file if I want to. So I'll add a README file. A README file is like a file where you can put in what your code, this repository does, the functions of this repository, guidelines for installing for installing your code and other stuff. And then you can now add a git ignore if you want. But a git ignore is basically a place where you put the ignore tools, that the things you don't want to commit to GitHub. Then I can now choose a license. A license is basically telling people what they can do with your code. They now choose create repository. You see, they say it will be set as main. So it will be the main will be the default branch. Okay. So we now hit create repository. It now creates the repository. Understand? So in your README, you have blockchain UNN learning repository. Okay, now for us to make our first code to GitHub, we have to go to our bash and type in this thing, git clone the repository link. So we're not going to come to code. We're not going to copy this HTTPS. We're not going to copy it. We're not going to come to our bash. We're going to make sure we are routed to the desktop. So we're not going to say git clone. We're not going to paste the repository that we have. We now hit enter. It now tells us cloning into blockchain URL. You understand? It's not tell us that we have, once you see this thing, it's not sure that it is done. So if you look at my desktop now, you will now see that blockchain UNN here has been cloned. So we now have cd blockchain UNN. You now see it now opens blockchain UNN, and then now it has the repository, the branch name here, which is main. Then I can now do code dot. Then I'll now open the code editor. As you can see, it contains what we have created, the readme.md and the license. You understand? So it just creates an ordinary license, says it's copyright for me, permission is here by all those things that they write in licenses. Understand? So now using this command line, we can now add our, let's say we want to do a little bit of something, we can now add our HTML and CSS file by using touch index.html, then touch style.css. You now see that both of them have been created here. You understand? So then to now write our commit to the repository, this is what we're now going to do. We're now going to do git add dot. So we're now going to come back to our command line. Let me clear this in so you guys can see what I'm doing. We now come back to our command line and then say git add dot. This adds all the files. But if I want to add only index.html, I'll do git add index.html. It adds only index.html. Understand? As you can see, it shows here that this has been added, but this is untracked. Untracked meaning that it is not related to the it has not been added yet. You understand? So that means that if I'm committing this thing, it's only this thing that's going to be committed. But if I want to add all, I'll do git add, and it adds all. You understand? You see that this thing has changed. You understand? So the next step I'm not going to do is now I'm not going to do git commit to my first commit. So I'm now going to git commit my first commit. So basically, you're telling Git that you want to commit something to the top, to the main, like to that repository itself, and then the title of that commit, like the content of that commit, yeah, is my first commit. You understand? That's what it's going to store it as. You're telling it that, okay, the content of this commit is my first commit. You understand? So commit messages have to be intentional. They have to say exactly what you have done, what your intentions with. So you should actually make sure that you give good commit messages. It's very paramount that you know how to give good commit messages. It will not tell you that it has 2 files changed, 11 insertions, and then it's created index and it's created style. Then you now do this git push origin main, because main is the main branch. You now do git push origin main. So look at what it says. It now counts the object, compresses the object, writes them, and then pushes them to main. So now if you go back here and we refresh our page, you're not going to see that it has added our index.html, our style.css, and then you now see our commit messages here, our first commit. You understand? So that is how to push, to create a repository and push things to GitHub. So if you copy this link that is here, this link is shareable anywhere, and anybody that clicks on it will be directed directly to this repository. You understand? So there are a lot of other Git commands that I would advise you to go and learn, because we cannot really cover them in the scope of this class. But yeah, that's it. If anybody has any questions, the person can actually like put up their hands and ask questions. So I trust and reckon you guys have been following so far. So if, as I trust you guys have been following so far, I'm just going to pick up random people so that they can actually walk us through on what is going on, because I've been asking any question, any lapses, any stuff, and it seems everybody is going on wonderfully well. That's cool. So I'm going to be calling on some people, anybody of my choice, to take us through one or two things. Okay, Chair Maria, your hand is up. Chair Maria Obiaho, your hand is up. If you're speaking, I can't hear you. Okay, Edwin.
Sorry, my question is concerning the configuration. What of like this my GitHub? I've been using it to push some codes before, but I just typed this git config global user.name, but it's like it's showing me an empty space. But I know I remembered the username I used. Yeah, I now remember the name I used, and I normally use only one email for everything I do. But my user.email is not even showing. Neither is my user.name showing. I don't know whether it will affect me.
But you've been pushing code to GitHub before.
Yes.
I think you're good as far as it still works for you. Understand? But the main thing is this setting of name globally, so that you have steady connection with Git. So if you press if you type in Git, that Git config global user.name command, and nothing comes out, that means that there is an issue somewhere, maybe from your system, or maybe from the connection with Git at the moment. What happens if you type in git config global user email? I hope you put two double dashes before the global.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So what
If I
happens when
type
you
it,
type?
it's still the same thing. It's just a blank space too.
Okay, it's just a blank space too. That means
Yes.
that you have not configured it. That means you have to configure your. That means you have to configure your GitHub with your Git properly. You understand? So run it again. If you know the full name you used to register, just type in git config dash dash global, then your full name that you used for GitHub, then hit enter. Once you hit enter and it doesn't bring out any messages, that means that has been done successfully. Do the same thing for your email. Use the email you used to register for. Use the email you used to register for GitHub, and then type it in.
That is it. I've
You
done it
should,
like plenty times. It's telling me error. Key does not contain a section. Obedike.
your name how I type in it, because I think this thing is case sensitive. It is case sensitive as pertains to your name, the name you used to
Okay.
register. So check the name you used to register and then check it and then just copy and paste it exactly how it is.
Okay.
You understand? I think it is case sensitive.
Hmm.
I think that should work. Okay. Does any other person have question or should I start calling names? Yeah, David. David, I hear you. If you're speaking, I can't hear you. Okay. I think if it is not working, I think that that is something that we are going to do outside this class when we are done. Okay, so I'm going to call some people now to um, tell us how this class is going for them and what's up. So, Marachi Arono, how are you? Have you been following us? Tell us what's been up. Tell us your views. I hope you're here with us. Arono Marachi. Um, she or he is not here. Okay, yes, Keto.
So I'm on GitHub. I think I downloaded it, and you know, I can't go back to like the main GitHub this thing. Where I'm at, they are telling me return to progress tutorial, clone a repository from the internet, create a new repository on your hard drive, add an existing repository from your hard drive. But I don't want to do any of this. I just want to go back, like back to
Okay,
GitHub.
are you using your this? People with phone can just download, can just register on GitHub. You don't really just register on GitHub. You don't really need to worry about linking it to your bash. When you have a system, you do that. But people with phone can register on GitHub.
I'm using a
So
laptop.
okay, Keto, can you share your screen?
No, I'm watching on my phone, and then my laptop is separate.
Ah, okay.
Unless maybe can you post the meeting link in the group in the chat box so that I can copy it from there.
Okay, yeah, no issues. So when you go to Meet, just input this code. When you go to Google Meet, just input that code there. It should open it up. Okay. Who else? Um, is it that people are here and they don't want to talk or something? Chinwite Cornelius, how are you? Let's say your voice. Keto, please mute. Chinwite Cornelius, not here too. Okay, David. David, what's up? Okay. Amadi Uju, let's hear your voice. How have you seen the class so far? Have you been getting what's been going on? Tell us what you've been getting. So everybody is just Everybody just here for being here sick. Okay, no issues.
Please, I have a question.
I can't hear you, David, and hear him if you're talking.
I said
Yes,
I have
go
a
on.
question. Can you hear me now? I
Yes, I
wanted to
can.
know what's the essence
Chemere, I can't hear you. I don't know
of this
if
Git
it's only
and
me.
Git
I can't
bash.
hear you.
Like since we have code pen and the rest of them, so what's the essence? Like what's the need of using it to?
Because the essence of it is used as a version control system. It is the standard version control system used by everybody. So once you're a developer, you must have a GitHub account. This is the place where you store your codes, and it's also the place where you can be able to contribute to other code in repository. If you've ever heard of open source, this is this is where you contribute to other people's code so that you'll be able to work with people, uh, get acclimatized in a better collaboration environment, and store your code. So whenever I go to a new system, or whenever I get a new system, you can just simply clone your repository and you have a working directory of your code whenever you want. You understand? So it's also a storage system, and it's also a place where you can collaborate with people. And it also is also a place where you can store the code, so I'll be able to host it online. That is the reason for GitHub. Is that satisfactory to you, Jemere? Okay. Um, is it that you cannot talk, Uju, Amani? Is it that you cannot talk? But I said that you can still use your phone to create a GitHub account, a GitHub account this time, not a Git account, a GitHub account. So you would just register, use your full name to register, then use your email to register. And yeah, and that's it. So moving on, we have the git init, initialize a new git repository, the git clone, the git add, the git commit, the git status, the git log, the git branch, the git checkout, and a host of all other commands that you can be able to use in git. Okay. Yes, Amadu. Hello, Uju. Your hand is up. Or is that by mistake? Okay, so using Git with GitHub has made collaboration faster, easier, and better. It provides a concrete and easy to use platform on how code can be handled and how one can easily function with many people working on projects. In all you do, make sure you're intentional with your workings and ensure you always write good commit messages that hit home and drive to the point. So while it is paramount, while you're using it to write code and everything, it's also good to keep tabs on your code. You understand? Because it helps you in many ways. So you will know exactly where you are and what you're doing. So you actually have to use it as a proper means of communication between you and your system, and also to help other people that want to work with your code to be able to work with your code. So in all, you should emphasize writing clean code and writing clean commit messages to follow this code so that they'll be easily understandable. Now, without Git or GitHub, you understand, collaborations with other people would be very tedious. Because in the old times, people, to send file to someone or to have a place where you're working on someone's code, the person will have to copy the code in a flash and then give it to you. And then you now put the flash in your system. Not even a flash. Back then it was CD. So the person writes the code on the disk, the floppy disk. I don't know if you guys still remember what a floppy disk is. If you guys know what a floppy disk is, put up your hands. If, so the person will have to write the code on a floppy disk and then give it to the other person who now collects it and puts it inside his own system and writes the disk on his system. Now, whenever any update is needed to be made, you understand, that person now collects his entire code, writes it into the floppy disk, and gives it back to the other person. So you see that this method of handling code was very slow, and anybody and people that wanted to work on the same project together had to stay at the same place. Now, from the comfort of your own home, you're able to go to another person's code, see everything, do what you want to do there, and yeah, you have contributed to the person's code. So this is why it's paramount for us to that's why we use GitHub. And also, Git and GitHub is another thing, but then there's version control. So version control, it's basically the control of how we push out code. So what version control enables us to do is to package our code into different segments and push them out as versions. So you have applications on your phone when they tell you version 1.5, version 1.6, version 1.7. So those are just packets of code that have been lined up to be pushed out. And that's also they push out this one, and then the initial version is called version 0.01. Understand? Then they now make a minor fix somewhere that you will not even notice. And I say it's version 0.010 blah blah blah. Then maybe they now make a major fix, and then they now say it's version 0.02. You understand? See, the version now becomes version 1.0, then they now have version 1.1, version 1.15. You understand? You can call the version whatever you want to do, whatever you want, depending on it. So GitHub offers a platform where you can store this code and make pushing out the versions easier. You understand? So that is an advantage of GitHub. Yes, Keto, what's up?
So I've been able to get it on my laptop.
Yes,
Should I
definitely.
present? Okay, I'm about to take over now.
Keto, please off the speaker of your laptop.
How do I do that?
Just put off, like, mute yourself on your laptop, and then use your phone to continue speaking. Just you can
I
mute
should
your
mute myself.
yeah, mute yourself on your laptop, but continue speaking through your phone since you're using two devices now, aren't you?
I'm muted. It's just the sound from the whole this thing is was
He has to go down like from the what's it called from the bar, then reduce the volume of that your laptop at like
okay.
remove
I've
the
done it.
volume.
Okay, we are waiting for you.
So this is where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get back to the main GitHub.
Okay, on your this thing, on that your search bar, clear the entire thing and just do github.com.
This place.
Yeah, no, on your search bar, that is on your search bar, on your browser search bar, clear the entire thing and just wait, click on repository. Click on repository.
This one.
No, on your nav, on top of your nav, click on repository. They have file, edit, view. view on GitHub.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I now see what happened. You downloaded GitHub Desktop. You downloaded GitHub Desktop. So
Yeah.
it's now giving you a startup for GitHub Desktop, how you want to move through GitHub Desktop. So you were
Okay.
not
So,
on the website, you were on GitHub Desktop, is different. Now, if you want to go
okay.
to
So it's
your,
only when you're on the website that it appears like this, but on the desktop app, it appears like this.
yeah, yes, yes, yes. So you can do, so yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen then.
No issues. Okay. So does any other person have any issues or any discussions? The floor is literally open.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What about my own issue?
Share your screen if you're using your system. Share your screen. So we walk through it. Mhm. Edwin, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm doing so now.
Okay, no problem, Sir Richard. Okay, yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, look at it now. Let me private git.
Type your username in lowercase,
Okay,
your email in lowercase, gmail.com. No, I mean your email. I'm talking about your email address first.
okay.
Enter. Invalid key. Go to your GitHub. Go to your profile. Okay. Your name is Ebube Edwin. Okay, I think your site is still loading because it was not yet common. Go to settings if you can. Like click on your icon, then scroll down. No, that place you clicked on to bring out. Yes. Then look at settings. So a public profile, it says your name is that. Um, click on that public email and then put in your email there.
It's not clickable.
Okay, you have to set your email address to private. So toggle email. So go to email settings. Or yeah,
I'm there now.
yeah, I'm seeing your email address. On primary email address, click on save. Okay.
I've done that.
Go back to public profile. Click on public email, click on edit. At the bottom right, click on edit. At near public email, click on edit.
Yeah.
It's a button at the right.
This place.
Yes, that place.
That place is for profile picture.
Okay. I'm not seeing that. I did not see that very well. Your issue, like I said, it has passed the scope of this class teaching. We cannot actually handle it in this class. We can't handle it in this class. Your name around Github, blah 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 blah. Access. Go to in your access. Go to emails there. No, sorry. Go to account. Go to account. Immediate laptop. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Click on accessibility. Okay. Okay. Come to in your access. Come to emails.
Okay.
Scroll. Uncheck that keep my email address is private. Scroll. Okay, go back to your Git bash. Close it and start it again. Then do git config global your email. Okay, this is definitely not going to be done in this class. You can research more on this matter. Why is this telling me invalid? You can copy the entire error and tell me and ask Google why it's telling you this error is invalid. You understand? So you get more answers. So you can unshare your screen now. Let's move forward. Chisom promise. What's happened? When you followed the instructions, what did he tell you? Chisom precious. User not found. That's user not found. The name that you put there, is it the full name that you used while registering on GitHub? Okay. What of the email too? Is it the same email address that you used? Oh, okay. on your git bash, yeah? Okay. Okay, so try typing in git config global user dot name. And tell me what it brings out. What is it says user not found. Okay, no issues. Share your screen then.
Okay, this is my screen right now.
Okay. Go to your profile.
Okay, yes, I'm there now.
That's not your profile. Click on that glitchy thing by your top right. That thing that looks like an icon. Top right.
It's not
Top right. Top right. That thing that looks like an icon there. Yeah, go to your
okay.
profile. Why did you name yourself Chisom Dash Promise?
Because when I put only Chisom Promise, like the thing did not recognize. So it's like name already exists.
Is your full name just Chisom Promise?
Yes,
Your son, which one is your surname?
my surname is not there.
I explicitly said, even if you have four names, put all of them there as your name. Then choose your username as you want.
Okay. Can I edit it?
Yeah, you can edit it.
Okay.
So that is why please start your names with capital letter and give spaces on all your names to capital letters. Not all of them uppercase. Use normal sentence case. Chisom, then Promise starts with the capital letter, then your surname. Yeah, that's it. Just scroll down and click on save. Scroll up. Your username is Chisom Promise. Go back and click on that icon on your top right. On your avatar icon on your top right. Click on settings. Name, Chisom Promise, you can make a public email. Set a verified public email to share.
Am I to add any
Click
email?
on click on email settings. Wait, go to your Gmail account first and foremost. Go to your Gmail account. The Gmail account you used to create this thing right now. Go to your Gmail account.
Yeah, I'm there.
I'm not seeing you there. Is there a message from GitHub?
Yes.
Click there and verify your email. The same thing with you, Edwin. Click there and verify your email if you have not verified your email.
I've done that.
Come back here and refresh.
Okay.
I'm not seeing your mouse movement. Your screen is still static. Have you refreshed?
Yes, just now.
I'm not seeing. I'm not.
I
Did it
just
change?
refreshed.
Did it change in your end?
Yes.
I'm not seeing your cursor. I mean, come to this your GitHub profile that you're sharing the screen for and refresh.
Yes, I'm there. My name has changed to the one I just currently put. See it now, Chisom Promise Chukuma. What was there before was Chisom Promise only.
Okay, in your public email, go there, go to email settings, click on email settings. The main
Okay.
reason I'm saying this thing is because I'm seeing your screen as static. I'm not seeing any change. I did not see when you refresh, I did not see anything. So if you can unshare your screen, because I'm not seeing any movement on your screen, that's why I'm asking this question. I didn't see
Oh,
when you went to your email or anything.
okay. Maybe let me stop sharing and start again.
No problem.
Alright. Can you see it now?
It's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, I can now see your mouse movement. Click on email settings.
Okay. Should I add the same email that I used to open it?
I'm coming. Mm. Scroll down. No, when I mean scroll down, I mean take scroll down one by after each.
Okay.
Don't rush through your scrolling. So we're walking through this together. So scroll down. So it says um, that primary email address there. Click
Yes.
on save by the side because you have
Save.
email privacy enabled. So if I can,
So I should
yeah,
just save it.
yes.
Okay. I've done that.
Scroll. Allow all verified mails. Click on save.
Okay. I've done that now.
Scroll. Uncheck the bar that says keep my email address is private. Uncheck that bar. Scroll. Yeah, uncheck that.
Okay.
Scroll. Yeah.
I've
Um
done that.
then yeah, open your Git bash. I'm
Can
not
you
seeing
see
anything.
it?
Did you share your entire screen or are you just sharing your
My,
Chrome?
I don't know. I just typed share, then Windows. You can't see my Git bash.
No, I can't.
Okay, okay.
If you can unshare and share again.
Okay. Okay, entire screen. I just saw that.
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
I'm wondering.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay. All right. Okay,
so
I'm
git,
done.
git config global. Type your entire name as this there. Don't add the U before the G. It's American English.
Okay.
No, what we're supposed to type is git config, not git config. So remove that E at the end.
Okay, just config.
Yes,
Then global.
yes. Dash dash global.
Okay. No space, right?
Give space before the config, after the config.
Okay. Like this now.
Then
Is that okay?
go to the end and then give space again. After the global,
Okay.
give space again. And
Okay.
type in your full name as it is there on GitHub. Please
Okay.
keep use sentence case as it is there.
Alright. Okay.
Enter.
Does not contain a section. Chisom.
Hmm.
Error.
Okay. Um, but then do git config global. Then type in the email, that email address that is there.
Okay. It's not a git command. Hello? Hello?
You type config instead of config. Correct the spelling of your config.
Oh, thank you.
Config. Check it, check it. Config, then space before the double dash. You type G again. That config is still wrong. Check it. Config. Yeah, that's it. Fig, then space, double dash, global.
The email.
Yes, and please, um, these are the little things that make mistakes. I wanted you to see that error yourself. Yeah, thanks, Emmanuel Eder, for chipping in, but I wanted you to see that error for yourself. You did it the first time. You understand? It gave you an error. And then you now wrote it the second time. You said that git config is not part of this. You're supposed to look back at what happened and then see the difference. So you correct yourself.
Okay. It's okay now, right?
Yeah, hit enter. Let's see what happens.
Invalid key.
It seems your screen has frozen on my end again because I'm not seeing any. I didn't see when you hit enter.
I just hit enter.
Now, when did you download this your bash?
That day you asked us to. That was last Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. When I said how did you guys set it up? Why didn't you raise up your hand? When I was asking people for those people who downloaded their bash that day, why didn't you
I
raise up
did.
your hand? Because I said explicitly, and I was like, I am going to lead you guys on how to
Yeah,
install this thing.
I did. I told you that I
Because
can't share my screen. You just said okay. I did.
I remember explicitly well, because installing this thing, there are particular things you have to click yes and no for, because you have to click yes, share with GitHub, yes, share, yes, allow these things to be read. Then there's a particular thing you're not supposed to allow. There's something about cats, something you're not supposed to allow. All these things. Okay, if you couldn't share your screen, did you now ask for the processes on the chat?
I watched a video. I watched yours and also a YouTube video on how
Okay,
to install the Git bash. That was how I did this one.
okay, no issues then. Okay, go do CD desktop. CD desktop.
Am I adding any dash or anything?
Enter.
Okay.
Tap your up key twice. Your arrow up key. Yeah. Enter. Invalid key. Go back to your GitHub. Scroll up. Like scroll up to the topmost. Visit profile settings. That place you said your primary email address is now public. To select which email to display on profile, just click on that visit profile settings.
I didn't see what you're saying.
Your primary email
Here.
address is now public. Select
Okay.
which, yeah. Okay, now it now says select verified email to display. Click there. Click that email. Okay, scroll. Scroll to the bottom. Click on update profile. Click on view your profile. Okay, okay, okay. Go to that place your avatar is at the top right. And click on settings. Click on email settings. Under public email, click on email settings. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Git set your click on set your email in Git. That place where they say keep my email address is private. Click on the blue thing there, set my email on Git. Yeah. So scroll, scroll. Read through what they said. Still scroll. This is not what we're looking for. Continue to scroll. Still continue to scroll. Copy that code and then follow as appropriate.
This one.
Yeah, copy that code. Control C. Open your Git bash. Control V.
It's not pasting.
Then right click and click paste. Change that your email in capital letter to your email address. Enter. Okay. Tap up. Change that user.email. Change the email there to name. Name. And I didn't say hit enter.
Name like this.
Then clear your entire email address and type in your full name as it is on GitHub. If it doesn't, user.name, not use.name. Then type in your name as it is on GitHub. Enter.
Is it okay now?
I'm coming. I'm trying to read through what it come.
Okay.
Then do git global git config global user.name and hit enter. Don't type in any name, just hit enter. Don't put E at the end of your config.
User.name or
Yeah,
mail.
name and just hit enter.
Am I supposed to add dash dash? Do you think I should do that?
You're supposed to write git config dash dash global user.name.
Can you see it?
I said you're supposed to write git config dash dash global user.name.
Dash.
Space
I
dash
added.
dash. No, no. Clean that thing back to the last G. Give space. Put dash dash. Then write your global.
Okay.
Then give space. Then write user.name. User.name. Enter. Has not been set yet. Tap your arrow key up. Clean that name and write email. Enter. Has been set. So your email has been set. Is now for your username. Double tap up. Give space. Write Chisom. Start it. Yeah. Dash. Promise in small letter. Dash. Promise in small letter. Enter. Now tap up with your arrow key up. Clear the Chisom promise. Enter. So it has now set your username to Chisom promise and your email to your email address. So you have successfully configured it.
Thank you, sir. I can stop sharing now.
Yeah, you can.
Thank you so much.
No issue. So that's it. I believe you can see that some issues were corrected here. So if you want to set your global name, instead of just writing git config global, then your username, you write git config global user.name, then write the username that you use for your GitHub. Sure you guys get. Then the same thing for your email address. So yeah. Yes, Edwin.
Sorry, I was following the way you taught Chisholm, but I don't know why my own is now okay. The thing has configured, but it's not. It's no longer showing my full name. It's only showing only my surname. When I click on when I type git config global user dot name.
I think I know the meaning. The
I'm,
meaning is because you have there are spaces. There are spaces between your name, between your all your names. You understand? So GitHub does not recognize spaces. So for you to be able to use spaces, sure you get, you have to do you have to do a forward slash. So you write Edwin forward slash space Ebubedike, then hit enter for that configuration of user.name and check if it will work.
I'm only seeing Ebubedike forward slash no Edwin.
Okay. We will figure that out later. We'll figure that out later. You understand? Okay. So guys, we have come to the end of this class. So practice. Your assignment to be up soon. Your assignment to be up soon, latest tomorrow. And if you haven't done this, the previous assignment, grace is given till today by 11:59 p.m. and the form will be closed. Those people that are writing the exams, you know what to do. So see you guys and good night. You guys can leave the call.
Sir,
Yeah,
please,
you try to release
please.
it.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay, you try to release it early. So good night and see you guys. You guys can leave the call. Like you guys are able to leave the call. Peter Mary, Chisom, Martin, Ebubedike. Why are you guys still on the call? You guys should leave the call. Or you guys are no longer here. Peter Mary, Chisom Promise, Martin, what are you guys still doing here? Why are you guys still on this call?